Good morning and welcome to Dobutsu Kyoji, the Animal Liberation Temple. Bernard, 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 come here. Just making sure we're live here on all our channels. We should be live on Facebook and YouTube. Oh, good morning, Jackie. Thank you for checking in on YouTube. Good to see you here also on Facebook. Good morning, Boself Caught. So good to see you. Good morning, Yolanda. So good to see you as well. Please excuse. Everybody was very quiet this morning until Bernard wanted to start playing. Bernard? Let me just make sure I have my chat open on my YouTube just to make sure I catch everyone. Our YouTube is up to 28 subscribers, so that's really good. I'm really happy to see that. We probably have a very long way to go, but that's okay. It's definitely getting there. And let's go through our updates. It was raining this morning, pretty cold. I think we're expecting some rain for the next few days. But everyone is doing well. We have our 4 duck girls, Breve, Grave, Amanda, and Renee, who are all doing really good. Oh, good morning, Pauline. So good to see you. Eating breakfast right now. Of course, we have Lucy, and you heard Bernard earlier, doing really well. Our 3 goat friends down the hill, Rob, Matt, and Philip, they're also doing really well. The 3 tortoises, I see 2 of them up and about this morning. They're doing well. Our turkeys, Priya and Harriet, are finishing up breakfast. They're doing well. Jax over here is doing really well this morning. Fed him already. Also, Jimmy over here. Jax over there. Jax is also doing well. I can see him eating breakfast still. Our guinea fowl friend Wendy is also doing well. Our roosters in the main aviary, which are Sabrina, May, Brad, Hardone, Kuru, Elliot, and Magnus, all doing really well. Our hens over in the main aviary are Glennis, Gwen, Alice, Melissa, Sunny, Dora, and Daniela. They're also doing very well. My rat friends in the house, Yamabushi and Hasu, are doing well as my dove friend in the house, Sequoia, also doing well. In the Cornwall corner over here, we got Poppy, Aster, Ivy, Azalea, Peony, Cynthia, Lotus, Edward, Magnolia, Hazel, Sage, Marigold, Camilla, Hydrangea, Holly, and Zinnia. All of them also doing very well this morning, finishing up their breakfast. And then we have our 4 pigeon friends, FP, Champagne, Appletini, Tulin, Sasha, Yo-Yo, Petey, Ricky, Spencer, Shambles, Beluga, Beth, Pee-wee, Cascade, Augustus, Frankie, Rufus, Harper, Elliot, Snickers, Boba, Kismet, Farah, Angus, Pandora, Jones, Sin, Harriet, Lago, Fred, Tremonto, Halo, Vin, Capone, Thimble, Percy, Pacino, Lacey, and Sasha II. Also doing very well. And then finally we have our 4 foster ducks who are now out in the main aviary, kind of socializing with the other ducks, and able to use our nice pond. This past week I was able to clean the pond, which is basically a 3-day process. A lot of hard work to get the pond clean, but it's nice and clean and going up again. Lucy, Lucy, no. I know. What's wrong? What's wrong? I don't think the dogs haven't had breakfast yet because they weren't awake until I started the service, and then they all decided to wake up and be very needy. You very needy, Lucy? You're a good girl. So that's the update on all of our residents here. And as far as the sanctuary goes, I did buy some wood and some cement to start repairing the rooster area. But with the rain, it's been difficult to get out there and get that going. Also, it's very difficult to do by myself. But I will. I'll get it done by myself if I need to. So I'm wearing my beanie again because it's very cold. We'll start with today's services with the recitation of the Great Heart of Wisdom Sutra in Japanese. As always, our sutras and prayers and mantras are dedicated to our dear animal friends. It's of great benefit for your resident, your companion animals at home to hear them, as well as any wild animals that might be nearby. Good morning, Jess. So good to see you tuning in live again this week. Very happy to see you. Maka hanya haramita shingyo kanji zai bosatsu gyojin hanya haramita jiso kengo ongai koda isai kuyaku sharishi shiki fuku kufu shiki shiki zoku ze kuku zoku ze shiki ju sogyo shiki yaku bunyo ze shari shi ze shoho kuso fu sho fu metsu fu ku fu jo fu zo fu genze koku tru mu shiki mu ju sogyo shiki mu gen ni bizet shen ni mu shiki shoko mi soku ho mu gen kai nai shi mu i shiki kai mu mu myo yaku mu mu myo jin nai shi mu ro shi yaku mu ro shi jin mu ku shu metsu do mu chi yaku mu toku i mu so toko bodai sa dai hanya haramita koshin mukege komu hu fun ri yisai tendo muso kugyo ne hansan desho butsu e hanya haramita 絶般若波羅蜜多種族絶種圧ギャテギャテハラギャテハラソギャテボジソワカハンヤシンギョネグワクはこの孤独をもってあまねく一切に及ぼし我ら都市じゃ富な友の仏道 Animal Liberation を当然ことを地方三子佛子孙菩薩佛子孫菩薩摩訶薩摩訶ほじゃほろみWe'll now recite the refuge prayer in Tibetan and then in English. Sangye Chodam Zaki Jonam La Jaju Patuk Technique Epsuji Taki Jinso Kipe Sanam Ki Jola Pender Sangye Jupar Sho. The Buddha, Dharma, and excellent assembly of the Sangha, until I attain enlightenment in these I take refuge. By my practice of the six perfections, may all sentient beings attain the state of Buddhahood. One moment while I help with Lucy here. Lucy, come on. You need to go inside? If you want to go inside, you can. Pastor Robert Monroe makes a good point to pray for all the animals affected by all the tragic and devastating catastrophic events around the world. Absolutely. And yeah, let's extra prayers for Neil's brother Clive and the whole family. We'll now recite the four great Bodhisattva vows, Shigi Seigan, in Japanese and then in English. Shujo Muhen Segando Bono Mujin Segandan Homon Muryo Seganga Botsudo Mujo Seganjo. However numerous sentient beings, I vow to enlighten them all. However inexhaustible my delusions, I vow to extinguish them all. However immeasurable the dharmas, I vow to master them all. However endlessly enlightened way, I vow to follow it fully. And we now recite the 6 vows to our dear animal friend. However numerous my dear animal friends, I vow to liberate them all. However diverse the methods of animal liberation, I vow to support them all. However unheard their voices, I vow to speak out for them all. However painful and inexhaustible the methods of suffering, I vow to bear witness to them all. However infinite the cages and tanks, I vow to empty them all. However difficult animal liberation, I vow to achieve it completely. It's very windy. We now recite the Vajrasattva purification mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Anupalaya Vajrasattva No Patisatrado Me Bhava Sutosho Me Bhava Suposho Me Bhava Anorato Me Bhava Sarva Sita Me Prayacha Sarva Karma Sita Me Chitam Yam Guru Hom Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sarva Tathagata Vajrama Me Mucha Vajri Bhava Mahasamamya Safaha. Good morning, Martin. So good to see you here. Let us also dedicate some medicine Buddha mantras to Neil's dear brother, Clive. Om Bhagate Bhagate Maha Bhagate Rajasamugate Soha. 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 Yeah, it's a. I like Pastor Rob's comment here. Love hearing the barking in the background. It reminds me to be in the moment, and nothing is more important than the animal's well-being. When all the animals are good, humanity will be repaired. Until then, it will be broken. Yeah, I'm a strong believer that until we all can be free of suffering, then that none of us will be free of suffering. All right, I need to let Lucy out because I think she needs to. Bernard? Bernard? You okay? I know. You're okay. Dear Bernard has a lot of energy. This morning I want to talk about a topic that I think is really important and a good way for all of us to think about how we can better support our dear animal friends. And there's a lot of ways to do this. I believe that you can be helpful by the way you choose to live your life, specifically, not eating animals and not wearing animals and not using products that were tested on animals, by not attending events that exploit animals. I think these are very simple ways, and like I've said before, these are not actually taking action, but actually just not doing things that harm others. Um, and then I think there are things that you can do by like taking action and supporting groups that seek to actually end all of animal exploitation, getting involved in activism and things like that. And then I think one of these big pillars is supporting the world we want to see and want to eventually be. Um, and I think a great example of that is our wonderful sanctuaries around the world, who are demonstrating how we might um, be able to live with our non-human animal friends in harmony, and how even the moment we end animal exploitation, there'll be many, many animal friends who will be in need of lifelong homes, and things like sanctuaries will be necessary. And even in the much distant future, we might have sanctuaries still who may be caring for wild animals who are sick or injured, or and still, I think even in a world where we are no longer purposely um, supporting animal exploitation. I think simple things like driving cars may injure wildlife. Things like if we're still polluting this planet, that you know, poisons and so forth may affect our wild animal friends, and sanctuaries will be necessary to care for them. Even if we were able to, not have domestic animals anymore, there still may be a need for wild animal rescues. But for now, sanctuaries and domestic animal sanctuaries are very necessary. Which brings me to my main point, which is that supporting your local sanctuaries and supporting the sanctuaries that you know about. I know many of you out there follow a lot of sanctuaries. Um, just to name a few, there's Amy's Farm Sanctuary in Arizona, Ironwood Pig Sanctuary in Arizona, um, Black Sheep Retreat in Mexico, One Living Sanctuary, which is here on the same property that I reside on, and many, many others. I wish I would have prepared a good list of sanctuaries to point towards, but I'm sure a lot of you folks know of sanctuaries local to you, or that you're following online. Um, in fact, you can leave them in the comments if you think of some sanctuaries that need some attention and need propping up. And I want to mention this because uh, running this sanctuary for the past 8 years now, in total. 3 years up here in Martinez and 5 years in Arizona. Running a sanctuary is very, very difficult, and even more difficult if you're in my position where you're running the sanctuary um, essentially on my own. Occasionally I get volunteers, and I'm very grateful for that. I wish we had a lot more volunteers. And recognizing too that not everybody can volunteer. Some sanctuaries are difficult to get to. Some sanctuaries that you may be supporting are in other countries. So you can't always, get there and support them that way. But I would like folks to keep in mind the sanctuaries and the folks that help run them. And I think if we were to do something this week, reach out to those sanctuaries and thank them for their work. That goes really a long ways in making sure that folks feel appreciated. This work is very difficult, and we are constantly dealing with a lot of sick animals, a lot of death, a lot of you know, nature comes in and starts destroying some of our structures, things like that, and it can seem insurmountable at times. And so there's a lot of mental stress that happens within sanctuaries. Some of the animals might be not getting along for a moment, and you gotta, help them get along. We introduced 4 new ducks to the flock yesterday, and of course they immediately wanted to start dominating each other. And the ways that they communicate can be violent sometimes, and we have to be sure to, be there and intervene when things go too far, and that could be very mentally taxing on folks that help care for sanctuaries. Keeping our non-human animal friends safe is a lot of work and is very difficult at times. Um, I think that folks who run sanctuaries sacrifice um, a lot of times to get out there and have human friends. Sometimes comes secondarily to being able to care for our non-human animal friends to the our best ability, and that can be difficult. So again, reaching out to sanctuaries is very helpful, and not just my sanctuary. I hope people understand. I'm speaking about all sanctuaries need support and need help, especially our smaller sanctuaries and less well-known sanctuaries. So please look locally for sanctuaries that are nearby that you can support. And that doesn't mean just financial support or just being there in person, although those things are really great. What is really helpful is just showing them the emotional support that they sometimes need, reach out to them and thank them for their work and things like that. It's really helpful and really goes a long way um, in being able to for us to continue this type of work. Um, I think another thing that sanctuary people who run sanctuaries don't, or people that run sanctuaries, some people don't realize some of the obstacles that we might face, and some of our interactions are very limited human interactions that we have, unfortunately, are often at like agricultural veterinarians who really don't understand the type of work that we're doing, and who feel that like, oh, why are you spending thousands of dollars on a chicken? Like, uh, that's a very difficult human interaction to have, and you have to stand your ground and be very emotionally strong to deal with that. Uh, a lot of times we are getting supplies from a feed store, um, who regularly the people who go into these feed stores are part of the animal agricultural system and are only exploiting and using animals, and we have to go into those stores and try to interact with these other humans, and it can be very emotionally taxing and difficult. And I think these are some of the small things that people don't realize that can be very difficult. Um, I think often the large sanctuaries get um, a lot of support, a lot of volunteers, a lot of um, lots of donations and things like that, um, and are maybe run by you know lots of folks and have employees and things like that. I think that's wonderful that they've gotten to that place to be able to do those kind of things. But there are many sanctuaries out there that don't have all of those luxuries, and it'd be really great for folks to reach out to them and show them some support, because this work can be very difficult. Yeah, Susan Craig is a really great example. I really appreciate today's message. I run a 33 animal private animal sanctuary with goats, sheep, ponies, miniature horses, dogs, cats, by myself with limited pay, limited paid help, and it's hard work and can feel so isolating at times. Thank you, Reverend Robert. Yeah, Susan is a great example of somebody who runs, um, what some people call a micro sanctuary. I don't know. I don't think any sanctuary is micro or smaller. Um, you know, just caring for one non-human animal is a lot of work, and especially when you reach out and care for animals that have been trapped in the animal agricultural industry. That it takes a lot of extra work, and healing those non-human animal friends of ours from that exploitation can be a lot of work and can be very tiring on our soul. So people like Susan Craig, who sometimes go um, unrecognized, um, look for those kind of folks and recognize their really good work. Um, I know that Susan has not only does she do phenomenal work for our dear animal friends, but she contributes to other sanctuaries, and she supports other sanctuaries, and she reaches out to other sanctuaries and emotionally supports them. And that's such important work. Um, so my assignment to folks who try to watch my Sunday services every week is find a sanctuary, reach out to them, and just show some emotional support. If you have the ability to go there and physically help them, please do that. If you have the ability to financially support them, please also do that. But most importantly, please go and emotionally support these sanctuaries, because this work is hard and lonely at times. And sometimes we just need some human animals out there showing that they care. Mm. So that is my message for this week. Um, please show each other emotional support. Show your sanctuary some emotional support. We'll conclude today's services with the recitation of the Animal Liberation Prayer and the dedication of merit. And then we'll have a quick visit with some of our residents in the main flock area. Hopefully I don't get blown away by the wind kicking up here. May all sentient beings, especially our dear animal friends who are subject to unbearable pain in labs throughout the world, be free of all suffering. May alternatives to animal experimentation, vivisection, and dissection be implemented immediately. May bodhicitta, the quality of compassion that leads to enlightenment, fill the hearts of those who imprison them. May all sentient beings, especially our dear animal friends who suffer endless days, months, and years, locked in tiny cages unable to move, be filled with peace and calm. May all sentient beings, especially our dear animal friends who are forcibly taken from their families, be reunited, and may all families be able to stay together. May the hearts of those who work in slaughterhouses, factory farms, and all industries that exploit our dear animal friends be filled with bodhicitta, so the very thought of harm is purified. May they never kill again, and may the slaughterhouse lines, factory farms, and all industries that exploit our dear animal friends become immediately empty. May no animal be afraid or depressed. May their bodies be free of injuries, disease, and illness. May the mutilation of their bodies be forever ceased. May those who need homes or have been driven from them find shelter, plentiful food, and water. May there be liberation for those tortured for fur, entertainment, or who are hunted. May those who believe that they are superior to our brother and sister animals develop perfect equanimity, and may they realize in their hearts that all sentient beings possess Buddha nature, the potential to be completely free of suffering, and that they are not ours to kill or exploit. May the billions of land and sea-dwelling sentient beings who are abused, exploited, and killed due to greed, hatred, and ignorance be free of suffering. May all the nets, hooks, blades, projectiles, traps, snares, cages, pens, tanks, lethal restraints, saddles, reins, prods, bait, poison, and all instruments used to harm, exploit, and dominate our dear animal friends be forever abolished. May all human and non-human sentient beings live together in harmony, peace, equanimity, and achieve perfect enlightenment quickly. May we all experience happiness, safety, freedom, and animal liberation in this very lifetime. And we now recite the dedication of merit to our dear animal friends. Throughout our many lives and until this moment, whatever virtue we have accomplished, including this aspiration for peace, and all that we will ever attain, this we offer for the benefit of all sentient beings, especially our dear animal friends. May suffering, exploitation, and unnecessary death be decreased for every being, while wisdom, bliss, and compassion increase in this and every future life. May we clearly and instantly perceive the plight of our dear animal friends with the urgency and seriousness they deserve, and our every action leads them to complete liberation. May we quickly attain enlightenment and work ceaselessly for the liberation of all sentient beings. All right, let's make a trip and let everybody out of their feeding areas and allow everybody to kind of meet some of our new residents. One second while the camera gets jostled around. You can see our duck friend, visiting duck friends. They're wild ducks. Lucy! Lucy! She's going a little too far. Let's go help her come back. There's our nice clean pond. As you can see, a lot of people are hiding from the rain. To ensure that my turkeys don't eat too much food, I take some of the food out. And put it into this coop over here so that the chickens can eat it later. And the turkeys don't eat too much leftovers. Turkeys are on controlled diet. Hey, everybody out. And Harriet. And we're going to let the other ducks out, which are over here. Yeah, there's our foster ducks. 2 Pekings, and I believe they're called Indian runners. Look at them run. Let's be nice to everybody. There's Lucy. You can see if I can zoom in way down there. All the chickens are in the duck room. I don't know if you can see that. Alright, well, I gotta get the dogs fed. Very sorry for the camera being so shaky. Oh, oh, oh. I know. Bernard, I can hear you. You're so loud. Well, thank you everybody for joining us here at the Animal Liberation Temple, Dobutsu Kyoji, where we are at the service of the spiritual and physical liberation of our dear animal friends. Again, please go out and support your local sanctuaries, reach out to them, and let them know that you support them and that you appreciate the work that they do. Maybe just offer your emotional support, even you know, if you can physically be there, great. If you can financially support them, great. But most importantly, I think all of us have the capacity to be able to emotionally support our sanctuary. So thank you very much. Have a wonderful week, everybody.